Leadership TV for God and country.
Afternoon, it's time for Sports Orbit. Sorry to our esteemed viewers for starting a bit late due to some technical issues. That notwithstanding, the show must go on. My name is Alpha Cho and Salifu Usman is also here in the studio with me. Salifu, welcome to Sports Orbit.
Thank you, Alpha. It's always my pleasure.
All right, from today's show, we'll begin straight from the camp of the Super Falcons. Of course, yesterday that video trended heavily on social media where the FIFA Secretary General Fatma Samura came out where she was addressing the Super Falcons and actually told them that because of the Super Falcons in particular, that this time around prize money for participants to the World Cup will be paid directly to the players. I think this came as a good news to so many Nigerians because when you go on social media, a lot of Nigerians actually hailed that decision. And here on Sports Orbit also, we think this is the right way to go. Salifu, you know, a lot has been said when FIFA had said, you know, announced different prize monies for different national teams. But shortly before the World Cup began, there was a bit of a controversy when Infantino made some statements as if the money was going to be paid to federations. But yesterday, Samora clarified that this money will be paid directly to the players. And one thing instructive, she said, because of Nigeria. I mean, this goes to show that, I mean, a lot of people on social media said, look, we finally wash our dirtiness in public. It means the whole world, everything we do in our sport administration, the whole world is aware to show that. I mean, a lot of people on social media said...
Just like we alluded to it at the start of the competitions when Fatino said, because initially Fatino make it clear that every player will get their money directly from the world body. But unfortunately, after the heavy pressures from the federations and Fatino be a politician who always want to get a favor from the federations, now they wanted to dance to the tune of the federations and say that, well, you now later withdraw his word that, well, I cannot guarantee that every player will play directly, that some may be likely to play through their federations. And that comment was not met well because a lot of people, even the ex-international former footballer legends, also come out in strong times to kick against it, and even the players who are already in action, or some of them want to protest against it. And it's like, well, the world body also have a restricting, and for Samura is not a stranger to Africa issue.
At all.
Being an African person from Senegal is not a stranger from Africa in what is normally the issue, the challenge we have in Africa. And for her to come out yesterday and speaking to the player, and I believe that we should take her for our word.
Of course. Yeah.
I will that it's not one of those statements that you just say just to play to the gallery and at the end of the day go back to do another different things. So to me it is quite encouraging and it's going a long way, and I hope that yes the Super Falcons should take this as a moral boost and should also look at it. Yes, now that we have an assurance that yes we are going to get our money directly to our account and not through any middle person.
Exactly.
So that should be an additional motivation to go and because the more they stay in the tournament, the more they continue to earn more money.
Yeah, exactly.
At the moment, they are almost $1,000. Heavy $1,000 already.
Exactly, $60,000
already still into their account, and more is still coming. And for them to get more, they need to remain in the tournament. So I thank Samura yesterday for that pronouncement. And it has lifted a lot of morale of many people. And just like you say, I hope one day we'll get to know and to begin to do things rightly.
Exactly.
And at the same time, even our printing platform leadership do a very editorial on that particular issues and demanding that the Super Falcons should be paid their money, because sometimes it's quite discouraging that often time treating our sportsmen with lackadaisical attitudes, with serving disdain, as if it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
How can somebody who is on the pitch sweating at the risk of his life, he can break a leg, and that may be the end of his or her life. Sweating, and somebody who sits at the comfort zone of his room or at the comfort zone of his hotel or somewhere will make away the sweat of those sportsmen. So, and if there's never a competition we win, I may be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. There's never a competition we win that will never have an issue of player welfare. Because some people, some selfish individuals always want to benefit from the player welfare. The issue of super of the Tigers is still ringing bells. Spring. Several of it that you cannot even mention. Even the Super Eagle. The most brand Super Eagles will have that issue. In the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, he had to take the information of the then President, Mr. Goodluck Jonathan, to direct the then current Minister of the time in Danagogo. So, for President has to be started from Nigeria direct to fly money to the player after the player refused to get to the pitch. This same Super Falcon, if you recall, at the 2019 World Cup in France, after the World Cup, the team refused to leave their hotel room because in the protest for the money. Why are we continuing to just expose ourselves often and often? But I'm quite feel lifted and I feel satisfied that yes, Samura has assured this game. Not that the money is not there. You don't need to go and source.
The money has been made available.
The money has already been made available. You don't need to go and source from anywhere.
Exactly, it's just to
it is not your sweat. It is not, you don't labor for it. You don't go and advertise for anybody or go and look for anybody to get this money. This money is already there, just for you to pay. But you want to deny people who have worked hard for the money. And you can only be a president of Nigeria for operation when there's a player. If there's anybody play football, you can't be a president of football. So you need to protect these people's interests first before you even think of yourself. But rather they wanted to satisfy themselves before the actual actors.
All right, still on the FIFA Women's World Cup. Of course, earlier today, one of Africa's representatives, South Africa, also booked a place in the knockout stages by defeating the Italian side 3-2 in that one. Of course, he had to take a last-minute goal for the South Africans to make it to the knockout stage, and this will be the first time South Africa will be making it to the round of 16 in a World Cup, tournament. So congratulations to Africa. At least we have two representatives. At first, it was looking like we might not have one because the Zambians are already out. But good, luckily enough, looked like the Super Falcons set the tone already, and their fellow African sisters have also followed suit and are already in the last 16 of the tournament.
Yes, I was quite lifted and satisfied with the Bayana performance. More instrumentally that they defeated Italy. Italy is not a small side, a very strong European football nation for that matter. And for them joining Super Falcon in the round of 16 has clearly to show that Africa are not just a pushover.
Exactly.
It's clearly to show that after the six continents and Africa is presenting two teams in the round of 16. It clearly went to the competition with just 4 teams, and after the 4 teams, 2 has already progressed to the knockout.
Exactly.
So to me, our performance is not a failure. Even though they don't even go beyond that level, it is no longer a failure. Because out of 4 teams, you came with the 4 teams, and 2 of your 4 teams has progressed. Even the Morocco is not yet over for the Morocco. They still have a chance, although very, very slim chance. But they still have a chance. What they need to
wait till the last match.
To the last match, because if they beat already, Colombia has 66 points. Germany has 3 points. While Morocco also has 3 points. The other person who is the third person is already out of the competition. So Morocco need a win. Even the Germany also need a win. But the only thing is that Germany has a 5-goal advantage ahead of Morocco. So for Morocco to survive, they need to beat Colombia well with a marginal point and hope what the number of goals the Germany will score against the fourth point. But however, it's not over for them. They still have a very small chance.
Don't forget that Brazil just were knocked out today by Jamaica.
So they still have
nobody ever saw that coming.
They still have a slim phone. But the beauty of things is that the Morocco went to the competition and even get a victory in the competition is also an achievement. So I give kudos to Africa team. I don't think Africa is not being disappointed in this particular competition. So with the success of the Super Falcon and the success of the Bayana joining the team in the round of 16, and the most encouraging thing is that the team they are playing to get to this are not just a minor team, are not just a pushover team.
Exactly.
It's a known football nations in the world. So that they get the Super Falcons get Australia, who are very strong in the women's football team, and then for Bana beating Italy, Stone Italy to their surprise, and then pick the ticket it has linked the continent of Africa up and clearly shows that the Africa football is gradually picking up.
Yeah, of course, still on the Women's World Cup, where England forward Lauren James has disclosed that the game against the Super Falcons of Nigeria on Monday will not be an easy one for the three Lionesses of England. Recall that the England female side are currently European champions actually, and you know, she's saying, look, in spite of their pedigree as European champions, the Super Falcons will not be a pushover. And clearly, for me, she said it rightly, because I mean, this female World Cup, whichever you look at it, has been interesting. It's almost like the male World Cup because so many surprises. And one thing that this World Cup, female World Cup, has shown is that, look, even when it comes to female football, like they say in football, there are no more minnows, because we can see the surprises that have been springing up. Countries like Jamaica, you know, playing out a 0-0 draw with Brazil today, making it to the next round. So the three Lionesses know that, look, if we underestimate the Super Falcons, we might just be doing so at our own peril.
Yeah, definitely at their own peril. And just like you say, the Women's World Cup, in as much as you say, you may be crucified to say that they're almost coming apart with the male football. But if you look at the soccer statistics of what has been happening so far in Australia and New Zealand, you give to see that the women's football is already up there.
Very well, because look at attendance.
In terms of attendance, in terms of marketing, in terms of everything, in terms of publicity, everything is for the first time. The whole world is up there that something is happening. For the first time that a women's World Cup is going, even now in Nigeria here, there's any nook and cranny that you go that the people are already aware that Super Falcons is playing at the World Cup. Yeah. So it clearly shows that people are beginning to get abreast with what we call women's football. Women's football is gradually growing, and even the prize money, you can see that the prize money is great up. Yeah. And like several upsets that before you talk of women's football, you can only make reference to US, Brazil, Germany, Australia, and
maybe Nigeria in Africa.
Nigeria in Africa. But now you see Colombia coming from nowhere, surprise Germany, beating Germany. Now Colombia is almost safe. Germany is still struggling to survive for the round of Pacific. Against all old, US struggle.
Oh, of course.
The almighty US, when it comes to women football, struggle by they have to escape by whisker. Yeah. To scrap into the round of season. And today Brazil, several years, many champions. Have just been knocked out of the competition, not by any other player, just by Jamaica. A minor Jamaica. Jamaica, the only thing you can record with Jamaica when it comes to athletic. But fair in football, Jamaica commode Brazil from the World Cup. To me, even though they don't even play beyond that, they have already won this World Cup for promoting Brazil. So, James is right in her prediction and say that yes, we cannot take the Super Falcons for granted. Yes, they are European champions. Our Super Falcons are not current champion of Africa, but they are 9-time champion of Africa. Super Falcons is also one of the teams who have participated in every edition of the FIFA World Cup. So the experience and everything is there. So there's no anything like it stage fright for the Super Falcons. They have seen everything. Every player of the Super Falcons have played at the highest level, so they are not scared of anything. It's level by its level. Yes, technical wise, the England may have advantage of technical wise, but in terms of stress and the agility to continue, so it's on our side, and definitely I believe that as we normally see, the Nigerian spirit will carry the Super Falcons through, and before you know, we'll see the England going from the Super Falcons progressing to the next
round. In fact, I'm so confident. I just have this feeling that the Super Falcons will make it to the quarterfinals of this tournament. Anyway, away from that now, like we said earlier, Jamaica, of course, 0-0 was all they needed for Brazil to exit, and like you said, it's the first time Brazil will exit in this tournament. Their earliest exit since 1995. That was the second edition, and for the Brazilians, I'm just imagining what will be going through the minds of their fellow citizens back home, in the minds of their coaches, because it will be like what happened to us this time around. Because looking at this game, ahead of that game, if you'd have asked bookmakers to predict this game, nobody would have given Jamaica a chance. In fact, even me, when I saw this result, I mean, it was a very shocking result for me.
Yeah, it's a shock. It's one of the biggest shocks in football record. And one thing is that Brazil Brazil used to be the soccer nation,
Yeah.
one of the best soccer nation. Before, when you talk of football, the only name that came into everybody's mind is Brazil. But now, if you ask yourself, a lot of things, to me, in my view and from yours, yes, Brazil still have a very top players, still have a high profile.
Exactly.
But in terms of their team, talking of team, Brazil is going down from every angle. Because if you look at it, at the last World Cup and at the Qatar World Cup, before the World Cup, Brazil was primed to be one of the favorite for the title. But I guess Brazil could not even get to the semi-final. They were knocking out in the round of 16, in the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
Okay, here again, when it comes to the Women's World Cup, Brazil, the matter who have won several World Cup more than any other female players. Now Brazil getting knocked out, not even this time in the group stage of the Women's World Cup, the tournament they have dominated for some time. So I think a whole lot of things is not going well with Brazil. And up to today, if you're looking at even the male team, after the exit from the World Cup, up to today they are still indelizing either where they are still waiting for Ancelotti, who is undecided to come to, who is undecided either to go to Brazil or not to go to Brazil. It's clearly sure that something is not well with Brazil. I wonder why Brazil will have to struggle to pick a technical coach after exiting the World Cup since last year.
Anyway, away from that, let's go to a bit of transfer news where, of course, reports suggest that Harry Kane may buy out his contract to complete a switch to German giant Bayern Munich. Although some other reports came out not too long ago saying that Harry Kane has said that if by when the season starts and his contract issues is not sorted out, he may likely not leave Tottenham anymore. That report came out a few minutes ago. But whichever way it is, this Harry Kane to Bayern Munich have dragged on for quite long. Well, the transfer window is still plenty of weeks to go. Ends on the 1st of September, so still a couple of weeks to go before the final seals up. But I mean, it's time for Tottenham to make up their mind, and Harry Kane also to make up his mind on what he really wants to do.
The idea about the futures of Harry Kane in Tottenham has been dragged for a very long time. Yeah. You remember about 2 seasons ago, it was about where he's supposed to go to move to Man City. Yeah. Because he was remember that then the Man City have to swim and look for Hala to go for Hala. Okay, there was even the time last year he was also supposed to move to Man U. The same thing dragged to up to this one now. Bayern Munich. So I think Tottenham will not one day shoot against themselves, just like it happened to the PSV now in the case of Mbappe. Yeah. Because when the players is determined to go, even though he's your prime asset, and you know it's your main player. But if the player want to move, allow him to move. Exactly. There is no need forcing the player against his wish to stay with you. If the player has made up his mind, because for you to get the best from the player needs to be totally committed to the project. Exactly. No matter how you like the player, if he's not totally committed to the player, if his mind is somewhere else, you can't get the best of him. Mbappe is the best player, no doubt about it. But PSG forced him to stay. Do they get the best of him last season? The answer is no. Yeah. The answer is no. But they have, okay, Tottenham are insisting keeping Kane at the white lane, keeping a left wing. But have you get what you want to get for him? Allow him to go. You can get there are many Kane around the world. You must not insist that a player must stay with you. If he has made up his mind to go, allow him to go. But now you are going to lose if you stay for this season. Next year you are losing him freely for nothing.
Of course, yeah. Of course, to our final story before we leave, another transfer news. Well, for Sadio Mane, his time at Bayern has finally come to an end as he has finally moved to Al Nassr of Saudi Arabia. Recall that Sadio Mane joined Bayern from Liverpool last season, only spent one summer. That deal was supposed to be a 3 or 4 year deal, but loss of form, of course, and that issue with with Leroy Sané did not help matters, where the club even had to suspend him. And once this opportunity came, they felt they just had to let him go. So now he has joined, the exodus of players who are now in the Middle East for one final
retirement
big payday before they call it quits on their footballing career.
Yeah, yes. If you look at the Sadio Mane movement to Al Sadd, it's a two-way thing. To some extent, you sympathize with Sadio Mane, and to some extent, sometimes you celebrate him that has finally he has been able to sort out his future. Yeah. But Sadio Mane is one of the bright stars of African football, and it's a star that Africa is still hoping to see him in the near future to still carry African name along. But unfortunately, when he moved from Liverpool last season, we all supported him to move because we now find that Liverpool are not appreciating his impact. A team that has given much to Liverpool, Liverpool begin to treat him as if he doesn't matter, and he has added so much value to Liverpool. But unfortunately, Liverpool refused to give him what is rightly supposed to be given to him. And then when he moved to Bayern Munich, but unfortunately, I'll blame the devil. I don't know what happened. So, but it was not fair for him when he moved to Liverpool. First, it was injury issues, and the injury issues that prevent him to feature at the World Cup, and then the issue of Laurel come again, and then the issue of Laurel come. Unfortunately, some of us who have followed Pape for a very long, follow Sadio Mane for a very long time, have never seen him any indecent attitude or indisciplined attitude on his part. He's a very calm guy, a very decent player, a very disciplined player. But unfortunately, what really happened that he had to slap his own teammate, and that didn't go very well. The German press was all over him, tried to sacrifice him, and they end up crucify him at the end of the day, and then to the extent that he become just a most hot person in the club, and even the Tuchel have to say that the best option for him is to leave, and then good that he has leave. But my pain is that we have wanted to still Pape to still be around when the football is playing, not just to go to where a retirement football is being played.
All right, that's our package on today's edition of Sports Orbit. Hopefully return with a fuller and more exciting edition of the program tomorrow. My name is Salifu. Thank you for being on today's edition of the program.
Thank you, Alpha.
All right, hopefully back tomorrow with another exciting package. Do have a wonderful time out there. My name is Alpha Achua, and it's bye for now.
Leadership TV for God and country.